Hello guys, welcome back to the video. Today we are in East Deerfield Railyard in Deerfield, Massachusetts. We're here to check out some trains going in and out of the Railyard. Here we start off with Norfolk Southern 18R, which is coming in from Binghamton, New York. This has a rather rare Dash 9 leading, which might meet its fate and be turned into an AC 4466M later this year. This is crossing the Deerfield River just outside the Railyard. Norfolk Southern Train 18R is a daily manifest from East Binghamton, New York to East Deerfield, Massachusetts. This train used to be part of 16R, but they split the two once the intermodal service went down to the B&A. Here in East Deerfield Railyard is where Berks will take the rest of this train to Ayer, Massachusetts. Norfolk Southern transfers the train to Berks instead of having Norfolk Southern take it all the way to Ayer. Now we see NS-18R pulling up into the receiving 2-track in East Deerfield. These 4 tracks were rebuilt in the summer of 2025, part of a grant given from the state of Massachusetts to revise 4 tracks that were already existing and build 4 more, which we will see in other drone shots. Since the next train into East Deerfield won't be for a few hours, let's take a look at some of the power in the yard. You can see anything from Genesee, Wyoming corporate colors to old Pan Am engines, some patches, and some bay lines. Since CSX took over Pan Am, you can see all sorts of power here. Coming into view now is the Genesee Wyoming Heritage Unit, which is painted for Genesee's 125-year anniversary. Continuing to look at the power, we're now at the EDY shop where you can see a whole variety of power. Old CSX engines, Norfolk Southern engines, still Genesee Wyoming colors, Baylines, the gray engine. And here lies a gen in the back of the shop, which is an EX war bonnet, which I never thought I was going to see at East Deerfield, sitting with some Genesee Wyoming and old Norfolk Southerns. This is really run down and probably won't see the light of day again. Turning to the right now, we will be able to see the shop and see some more B&E engines, followed by an old EX BNSF engine, just all orange, another Norfolk Southern engine, and as we turn to the right here, we can see MEC 30405, which has seen better days. Also some Burlington Northern boxcars to the right. Coming in now is B&E's 47A, typically with BNSF power, but today with all B&E engines. This train stuck up on me, so I had little time to set up, hence why we are filming behind trees and chasing it over the bridge. Looking at all these grain cars, these are all en route to Cicero, Illinois for the BNSF. Like I said, typically BNSF power on this train capped at an SD60, but with the SD60 days typically over in New York, it's kind of hard to get a 60 for this grain train, so B&E usually uses its own corporate power for this train. It's always cool to see these grain cars snake the East Deerfield Railyard. Definitely a sight to see with a drone that the human eye can just not see. We've already reached the end of the grain train. This train was about 100 cars long, but I cut most of it because no one wants to look at grain cars all day. As the end of the grain train leaves sight, I want to thank you all so much for watching.